Hello, my name is Carlas Douglas, and today I would like to share with you my integrated thematic social studies center display presentation. I decided to choose famous African Americans, and as you can see, I have my web organizer, a walk through history celebrating famous African Americans. I chose this topic because February is Black History Month, so it'll give teachers an opportunity to focus on something other than Valentine's. And I also chose this thing because I think that we have a lot of diversity in our schools, and multiculturalism is something that I am a big fan of. And I think that it's important for children to not only learn about their culture, but also to learn about cultures of other people. Okay, as you can see on my web organizer, I have my social studies TEKS, and my TEKS are 2.2a, 2.2c, 2.4a, and 2.4b. And I also have 13, which is citizenship, 13b. On my language arts TEKS, I have 6, 13, and 18a. I also have my book list, which includes the books Ruby Bridges, Harriet Tubman, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, President Barack Obama, Jackie Robinson, Sojourner Truth, Testing the Ice, George Washington Carver, and In the Garden with George Washington Carver. And also, I have my activities displayed, which I will be talking about those a little later. As you can see on my display, I have many famous African Americans that we will be talking about in this social studies thematic unit. And I also have a basket of books. These books are books that we will be using and integrating into the social studies thematic unit. My other basket of books are just some more books that I found that the children will be able to read in their spare time. Okay, my activities for this thematic unit. The first activity that I had is that we will be reading Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we will not only be reading this book, but we'll be reading several other books about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we'll be touching a great deal upon his speech, I Have a Dream. And we will go over that speech, we will listen to it, and after that, the students will be doing a writing assignment. Okay, what my students will do, first of all, they will complete Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream too. So they'll write about 3 sentences about what they learned about Dr. Martin Luther King's dream, and then they'll illustrate it up here. The students will then write, I have a dream too. So they'll write about 3 sentences about their dream, whatever their dream may be, and then they'll illustrate it here. We would then display our dream papers in the classroom. The next activity that I have deals with reading, and the students may choose Ruby Bridges, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, Jackie Robinson, and also Sojourner Truth. And what students would do, for instance, this sheet is about Harriet Tubman. So the students will read Harriet Tubman, and they will look in this book and find information about Harriet Tubman. For instance, the first one says when she was born, so they'll read and look in this book, find when she was born, when she died, what was she famous for, and then they will also write an interesting fact that they learned about Harriet Tubman. They will not only do that for Harriet Tubman, but they would do it for the other people as well. We have also one for George Washington Carver. We have one for Rosa Parks. We have one for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we also have one for Ruby Bridges. Okay, the next activity that I have will be a timeline, because my presentation is for second grade, and second graders, one of the TEKs is to create and interpret timelines for events in the past and in the present. So the book that I decided to use with the timeline is Ruby Bridges. And using this book, the kids will fill out this timeline. And it gets very in-depth, starting right here in 1954. And so the students will read about 1954, and then they will then write what happened in 1954. Then the students will go on to 1960. They'll flip through the pages and see what important event happened in Ruby Bridges' life in 1960. They will go on and complete the timeline all the way up until 2001. Okay, the next activity that I have is we will be reading a lot about Jackie Robinson. We have Testing the Eyes, which is a book about Jackie Robinson. And also, I have a book, Jackie and Me. So we will be reading a lot about Jackie Robinson. And so, once we read about and discuss Jackie Robinson, I also have an activity for the students to complete. This is entitled Jackie Robinson's All-Star Sentence Sort. It says we can sort telling and asking sentences. And what the students would do with this is that they will lay it down on the table, and it has telling sentences and asking sentences. So what they would do, they would get the first sentence. For example, why did Jackie have a difficult time playing Major League Baseball? And they'll decide if this is a telling sentence or an asking sentence. And so it's an asking, so they would just put it there. Okay, the next one, Jackie Robinson was awarded the MLB Rookie of the Year in 1947. Okay, they would decide if this asking or telling. This is telling, so they'll put it there. So they'll go through these, and while they're going through these, they will learn some very important facts about Jackie Robinson. Once they have finished, they will fill out these two sheets, Jackie's All-Star Telling Sentences and Jackie's All-Star Asking Sentences. They will write 5 sentences from the asking and 5 sentences from the telling. So those are all my 4 activities that goes with famous African Americans. Upon completion of this unit, it will give the children, upon completion of this unit, students will be able to identify famous people in the African American culture. And like I said, because of the multiculturalism, I think it's important for children to learn not only about their culture, but about cultures of other people as well. Thank you.